Hey, what is good everyone? So NBA 2K24 has finally let people release their videos of the myplayer builder from community day. So we have a lot of good information on what builds we should make, how we should make our builds. I'm going to be trying to summarize everything that I've seen. But first, I just want to touch on this. And I think it's a little distasteful and nauseating that 2K decided to invite some of the smallest, most irrelevant creators. This is absolutely no knock to those creators. Take advantage of the opportunities provided. But there's creators like Black Cobra and Boom Boom who have less than 1,000 subscribers to 6.4 thousand subscribers with channels that are only a year or two old compared to absolute OGs, massive creators in the space with huge influences in the 2K community such as Swante, badgeplug, and even some of the best players with huge influences such as Steezo not getting any opportunity to touch the game and be able to give us their honest thoughts on matters that they excel and expertise at, such as the builder, gameplay, animations, all those kinds of things. Now I want to preface this video by saying this is not the final product of the builder. Things have already been changed since community days, such as badges that we don't get into in a second, like rebound chaser, the requirements have changed. But we've also got this little graphic on the screen right here of the requirements that you need to get certain contact dunk animations. So when you're making your myplayer, you want to put all these things into considerations, but we still have no clue on which of these animations are the best. So we still really don't know what requirements we need to get the best animations in the game. Here's also a look at what the takeover will look like. Once you get takeover, you can see you just press a button and then you can choose which stats you want to boost. As well as something that's very, very good is we finally have a no squads rec, which is very beneficial to the casual players that just want to hop in for a casual rec game and end up playing against a team of level 40, absolute sweat, no life tryhards. Now let's get into talking about the builder. My first recommendations are, if you are not an elite level guard already, do not make a guard when the game first comes out. Chances are you're going to butcher the myplayer and you're just going to waste all that VC, and you're going to have to spend more VC on a new myplayer down the road when we figure out what is really the best ISO guards. Now from looking at the builder and the way that the builder is balanced, as well as comparing the attributes to what we know about the gameplay, my initial recommendations are going to be locks, which I'm going to play. Although it does seem like it's going to be very difficult to make a good lockdown. Stretch bigs, based on what we know about off-ball, as well as how the myplayer builder is set out. Even just looking at the preset builds like Larry Markkinen, 7-foot stretch bigs seem like they're going to play a predominant role, especially in the park with off-ball cheese. And I don't think they're going to be where they were 2K18, 2K19, but stretch bigs have been overpowered since 2K15. They took a little break in the last couple of years, but I most definitely think they're back. Just having a tall player that can play center as well as stretching the floor is always going to be an invaluable asset to any team. If we look at Boom Boom 7'1" popper build, you can see even at 7'1" with a 7'7" wingspan, you can still get a 79 3-ball, and you still have the option to get 99 block, 99 offensive rebounding, and 99 defensive rebounding. Now, as you can see on her build, she went with a 75 3-point shot and only kept the block and defensive rebounding around a 92 to 93, which only gives her gold anchor, gold rebound chaser, gold pogo stick, and gold box out beast, where she could have easily maxed those out, sacrificed some of the finishing stats, and got those Hall of Fame center badges. I said the only problem with these stretch big builds is how important strength is. It's going to be very hard to balance out having high strength and high speed. As you can see by her gameplay, her player just looks really, really slow going up and down the court. But maybe if you sacrifice most of your weight, most of your strength, you might be able to move a little faster. And if you're playing other centers, you can still definitely dax them, easy buckets. However, the way they're talking about strength means you might get bullied a little bit on the defensive end. If you have that 99 block Hall of Fame anchor, then hopefully you might be able to balance that out, and stretch bigs might be really OP. The other build is just inside centers, post scorers look really, really dominant as well. As I said in my last video, the gameplay of Vic proves that if you're taller than someone, you can easily post hook just straight over them, and the shot will be pretty much open. The green windows are huge for post moves, especially if you have a huge height advantage. And looking at the way that the builder is set up, to upgrade anything, you definitely need to sacrifice other things. There's no real demigod builds, so a lot of people are going to have very, very low strength, especially if they're focused on being perimeter players, which means as an inside center, you'll definitely be able to easily bully people in the paint. So post scorers and traditional inside centers, which is just like rebounders, glass cleaners, are going to be overpowered. I don't really have any screenshots, but if we're looking at the badges, small Kobe type post scorer guards also seems to be like a really overpowered just in the builder. We don't know how that's going to play out on gameplay, but if you follow Ticino, I'm sure you'll be able to find a way to cheese all the spins and everything. And they seem like a very viable option, especially in the 2v2 court at the start of the game, where people don't really have their 3-point shooting and playmaking guards figured out, because their hit to your max potential from upgrading your mid-range compared to upgrading your 3-ball is very drastic, where if you upgrade your mid-range shot, you can still have pretty good defense, pretty good ball handling, decent finishing, but as soon as you upgrade that 3-ball, everything else kind of goes out the window. Now talking about guards, Joe Knows dropped his LeBron builds. He dropped 2 versions, which is the strength and the speed version. I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you want to go in more detail on this build, then you can check out his video, but I think he brings up an interesting point, and this is the reason I say you should wait before you make your ISO guard build, is to get Hall of Fame speed booster takes up so many attribute points, because you need a very good ball handling, very good speed with ball, and high acceleration. So if you upgrade all 3 of those things to the level that Hall of Fame speed booster requires, and then you max out your 3-point shot, your player is pretty much tapped already. Now if you find the speed booster is an absolute overpowered badge that we need it, that becomes a necessity for speed boosting guards, then obviously the guards are going to be very limited on what they can do other than Hall of Fame speed booster. But if it turns out you can get away with like having a more physical guard with like Hall of Fame physical handles, then that requires a lot less attributes and you can make a much more versatile guards. So until we really figure out how that gameplay is going to play out, then I wouldn't make us guard. But I will say, looking at Joe Nose's build, it does show that all the things that they were saying about not being too overpowered, like everything, is a little bit capped. Like you can definitely see that they have to make a lot of sacrifices, especially in terms of badges. But just looking at these attributes, his attributes look super well-rounded. The only problem is, as you can see, he just has a lot of bronze and silver badges. But he's got that 86 strength, he's got all good physicals, his defense is real good, he's got 87 block, obviously his perimeter defense is only 75. Ball handling at 85, I believe you need 87 ball handling to speed boost, so I'm not sure what Joe Nose is really on with this. In my opinion, I'd almost go down to 6'7". I know this is his LeBron build, but if I was trying to make a really calm build, I'd almost go down to 6'7", so I can keep most of the same stats and then get that 87 ball handling. 3-point shooting, 78 is pretty good, and then he gets a 93 driving dunk, which is 1 point off of getting contact dunk package number 3 out of 4. The other thing is passing badges are super hard to get. You can see on this screenshot right here, even with that 80 passing accuracy, you don't get bailout, you need 87. Diamond you only get on silver, needle threader you only get on bronze, and to get silver passing accuracy you need 86 passing. Now I want to go back to that stretch big topic because I just found my screenshot. You can see that Larry Markkinen is 7 foot with an 82 3-point shot, an 80 standing dunk. He still has an 85 defensive rebounding. His defense is pretty bad, 70 strength, 70 vertical, but you could definitely change up a few things right here to make this a better build. But the moral of the story is you can get an 82 3 ball at 7 foot tall, and we know how overpowered off ball can potentially be. But now on the last but definitely not least, we got lockdowns. Brother Jones posted a banger video going over lockdowns, and it's very evident that you cannot make a lockdown that can guard 1 through 5 like you have been able to in pretty much every single other year. Well, not at an elite level anyway. You can see at 6'8", you just cannot get the Hall of Fame defensive badges like glove and interceptor. Now 6'8", you can get silver anchor and you still only get the gold clamps, interceptor, and glove. If you go 6'10", then you don't get glove at all. I don't think you even get clamps, but you get Hall of Fame anchor. So pretty much as soon as you get to that 6'10" height, you get that Hall of Fame anchor, but your perimeter defensive badges drop to like bronze and silver. And then as soon as you go below 6'8", your perimeter badges bump up to gold and Hall of Fame, but your interior badges drop to bronze, silver, or nothing. So you can see on his 6'7" build, which is probably more close to what I'm going to be going with, I believe. He does get that 99 steal, so he gets Hall of Fame interceptor, Hall of Fame right stick reaper, Hall of Fame clamp, Hall of Fame glove. Ooh, apologies, no, he still gets silver anchor. He still gets silver anchor, but you can see even with just a 75 driving dunk, 75 3 ball, very basic playmaking, and not even crazy physicals, he's still only able to rock a 60 defensive rebounding. So yeah, it's definitely tough to make a lockdown. Obviously, I'm not really gonna know how I'm gonna make my lockdown until I can get my hands on the game. But either way, man, I hope you guys found this video informative. I hope this video helps you in creating your builds so you don't mess it up on day one. Let me know what builds you guys are thinking of making when the game comes out. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm out. See ya.